Team win yesterday. It was nice to see the running game get going. We had 195 yards rushing. Defensively, I thought we played very well. 0 for 10 on third downs. I thought we pressured the quarterback well. Pretty good in coverage most of the day. And then special teams, we flipped the field position a few times, had them down inside the 20-yard line a couple times, and we had good field position with some of our return games. So, good team win. We're going to have to continue to play well on the road this week against a pretty darn good Jets team.
What was the key in limiting the big plays that kind of been plaguing you in the past? Is communication or?
We've been practicing. We've been practicing these things that have hurt us, and we've been emphasizing certain points that needed to be addressed. And so I think that's really what the biggest reason.
Mike, do you have an update on Mike Hughes after he had the MRI this morning?
Yeah, he's going to go on IR. He's got a torn ACL.
Mike, what can you say about the progress of Brian O'Neill since he got here to now?
He's progressed an awful lot. I thought he played pretty well yesterday. He battled. Very smart, picked up a lot of the things that they were trying to do. He's getting better all the time.
Mike, Kirk Cousins talked about the double dip. And he said you emphasized that quite a bit. How deflating is it to a team when you can score in and out of a half?
Yeah, well, it's big. It's a chance to go 10 or 14 points up, if you're giving the ball back in the second half. And quite honestly, that's why, I try to defer as much as we can, because we have a chance to get the ball and start the second half. So, but if you get 10 points in a 8-minute span, or 10 or 14 points, then that's pretty good.
The success that you mentioned, third down defense, was there a common theme there that you saw on the tape, or was it just different situations, different drives?
Guys made some good plays. The third down interception that Anthony Harris made was a big play. I think we had a couple sacks in there, maybe 3. Trying to think what else. McKenzie made a good play on the first third down. Trey made a nice tackle on the shallow cross. I think it was like 3rd and 10 or something like that. But the guys did a nice job executing.
Mike, can you talk about with Hughes out what this means for the depth at cornerback, and will Holton Hill perhaps have to play a bigger role both there and maybe even returning kicks as well? This has always been a deal where somebody gets hurt and everybody else has to continue to step up and play. And we feel bad about Mike, because I think Mike's going to be a really good football player. But we got other guys here, and we expect him to come in and do a good job.
Yeah, how much do you feel for Mike Hughes and kind of where he had been rising in his development?
Yeah, I do. Because he was learning and continue to learn, and he's got a lot of great attributes. I think toughness and his skill set is really good. But he's going to come back and he's going to be great. We've got great doctors here and great trainers. Sugar's done an unbelievable job with every one of our guys that have had ACLs. So we're going to miss him, but we're going to move forward.
How much of moving around, being able to play multiple positions throughout the first 6 weeks, how much do you hope that carries over for him going into 2019 so he comes back, kind of what that seems like?
Yeah, we'll worry about that in 2019 then. It's hard for me to predict. I don't know when what date he'll be back, and how much he can do until that point. So it's really hard for me to predict that part.
Like sometimes the rookies maybe take a while to adjust to the coaching or different strategies and stuff in the NFL, but it seemed like from the start you were pretty complimentary of how quickly he took to coaching.
Yeah, for a young guy, he was real professional about everything. Studied hard, asked good questions, never afraid to ask anything. Not afraid to compete. A lot of times it's just learning the speed of the game and trying to understand the concepts and coverage and things like that.
Mike, how many rookie corners have you had pick things up as quickly as he did to get on the field like he did?
There's been numerous ones, I guess. time goes, Terrence Newman, you know, so, but I'd have to really think about it, but, I mean, you know, like I've always said, some guys are quicker than others, and some take a little bit more time. It just depends on the individual, really. And not really so much what they did in college or you know, anything like that. It's just how fast they can pick things up.
With that roster spot, do you look for another cornerback to add depth there, or?
We'll see.
Mike, with all the situations you've been in, how rare is it to have as many defensive backs that you feel comfortable playing in a given game and rotating all those guys around?
Yeah, well, it's the old saying, I almost need one more. You know, in today's game, they're really valuable. You know, if you can't pressure the quarterback and you can't cover, then you're going to have issues. So, you know, that's part of our deal here is, you know, we want guys that can rush the quarterback and guys that can cover, whether it be linebackers, DBs, you know, safeties, whatever.
But in terms of rotating guys like J-Ron or Anthony Harrison, I mean, you seem to have kept at least previously more of those type of guys on the bench, but now you're playing those guys.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes, honestly, it's their personnel dictates it, or the way they play their offense dictates it based on, you know, different game situations and things like that. So, you know, I'm sure we'll, you know, next week might be a completely different thing, but, you know, we just try to. And I'd like to play guys, you know, guys that have earned the right to play. I like to play them. It just, you know, sometimes, you know, like Ben Gideon, you know, he played 10 plays or something. Ben's a good football player, but, you know, because of the offense that we're playing, he didn't get to play as much. It just, some weeks are like that. But, you know, it's good for Kurtz to get in there. It's good for Aloka to get in there. Anthony Harris, you know, all those guys had different jobs to do this week.
What do you like about the big nickel with J-Ron in there? What does that do for you?
I mean, it gives you. I mean, it gives you some flexibility. There's a lot of reasons. You know, I don't want to get too complicated, but you know, it's just better cover guys typically than when you get linebackers in there. But I mean, there's other reasons too that I really don't want to discuss.
Is goal line? I mean, it seems like that was a good spot for J-Ron. I mean, is that something that you like with that, like just from a coverage perspective, using the big nickel in those situations?
I'd have to think about when. I mean, there was a couple situations on the goal line. I don't remember. I mean, he's in a couple different packages on goal line, so I don't remember exactly which one you're talking about. But I mean, honestly, it's packages. It's how we try to. What's the word I'm looking for? You know, put players in different spots. It's situations, packages. Might be matchups. I mean, there's a lot of different things.
Mike, what is it about Latavius Murray's game that's enabled him to have some success in some of these downhill runs?
You know, I love the way, you know, number one, he's a great person. He's very diligent about his work, practices hard, but he's got good feet and acceleration. You know, he stayed with the reads really well yesterday, I thought. And then, you know, he runs with his pads forward. And so, you know, when he gets a chance and, you know, very seldom is this guy going backwards when he gets hit. You know, a lot of those things I really like.
Mike, was it a concerted effort to go to Laquan Treadwell early yesterday? And how much of an impact can he make if defenses start paying more attention to Thielen Diggs?
It really wasn't. It was just the way the game started out. It was just, you know, we had a couple calls in there. You know, Kirk's a guy that's going to throw the football where it needs to go. He's not really, you know, trying to get the ball to this guy or that guy. It's mostly coverage dictated. You know, obviously some plays are put in for each guy, but you know, the more that we can add, the more players that we can add that are spread the ball around, the better it will be for everybody.
On some of the tip passes that Kirk had, it looked like he was trying to get the ball out to the outlet really quick. What can you do how do you fix that?
Well, I knew I was going to get asked that, so I was prepared. But okay, so some of them were quick passes, right? Where the line was sliding one way and the back was going the other way, and we were cutting the defensive end with the back. And there 2 times they jumped over the top of him and took the ball down. One time he ended up sacking him. There was one time when, you know, we ran a naked and we left the guy alone on that side who wasn't blocked. So basically, you know, a few of the times were when we didn't block him. Then there was a couple times where he was, you know, where we got pushed back a little bit and the guys got their hands up. I think one of the early ones, maybe the 3rd down or 4th down early in the game, I think we got pushed back on those 2.
Time for 2 more.
What did the interior of the offensive line do to break open some of those explosive runs?
So they're walking guys up in the gaps. Okay, so they basically had 8-man fronts versus our 1-back formations. And so we were having to come off the double team, the combination blocks a little bit faster. And there was a couple times when we got them knocked off the ball, and you know, once it gets there, there's nobody from here to pass that back wall to make the tackle. So, you know, we just had to stick with it. And you know, it's not like I told the team the other day. You know, sometimes it'll be a 2-yard run, and then it might be a 2-yard run, and it might be a 20-yard run. I think we had 4 of those yesterday. So those, you know, sometimes you just have to just keep pounding it until you pound it through the wall.
And Mike, how close of a call was it with Dalvin Cook yesterday in terms of him going?
It's close. I mean, we just have to feel comfortable with it. Okay, thank you.